Hi everyone, welcome back to Noctis Gaming and to our Warhammer 40,000 timeline series. In this episode, we'll be talking about the Diasporex Campaign. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We also have a Buy Me a Coffee in the description of the video if you'd like to support in other ways. Next week, we'll be looking at the compliance of 6319. I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. The Great Crusade was built on a single, unshakable belief that humanity must stand alone, united, unchallenged and uncompromised. But not all who bore the name of mankind agreed. Scattered across the galaxy were worlds that had survived Old Night in ways the Imperium did not expect. Not through isolation, not through conquest, but through cooperation. Among them was a civilization unlike any the Crusade has yet encountered. A people who had a different path. A path that could not be allowed to exist. They called themselves the Diasporex. Not a world, not an empire, but a fleet. A civilization that lived among the stars. Humanity and Xenos together. They had endured the age of strife not by turning inward, but by forming alliances, sharing knowledge, sharing resources, and trusting one another. Their fleets were advanced, their culture stable, their people unified, not by force, but by choice. To the Imperium, this was not admirable. It was unacceptable. When the Crusade encountered the Diasporex, it did not see a lost human civilization to be reclaimed. It saw deviation, a violation of the imperial truth. Humanity was not meant to stand beside aliens. It was meant to rule them or destroy them. Initial assessments confirmed what could not be tolerated. Humans and Xenos living as equals, fighting side by side, thriving together. This was not compliance. This was heresy. The decision was inevitable. The Diasporex would be brought into compliance. Their human population would be reclaimed. Their Xenos allies eliminated. The task fell to 2 legions, 2 Primarchs, Fulgrim the Phoenician, and Ferrus Manus the Gorgon. Brothers in admiration, opposites in nature, perfection and strength, art and iron. Together they would bring the Diasporex to heel. The Diasporex did not respond with fear. They did not scatter. They did not submit. They stood together. Their fleet moved with precision, human and alien vessels fighting as one. Their technology was refined, elegant, efficient. They did not rely on brute force. They relied on unity. It was something the Imperium could not understand and would not accept. The battle that followed was unlike the brutal clashes of Orc empires or the shadow wars of the Crave. This was a war between civilizations. The Legiones Astartes brought overwhelming force, strike cruisers, battle barges, relentless assault. The Diasporex responded with coordination, fluid tactics, mutual defense, human ships shielded with alien vessels. Alien ships returning the favour. They fought not as subjects and masters, but as equals. For a moment, the Crusade encountered something rare, a society that actually worked. Fulgrim sought perfection. Ferrus sought strength. Both saw the Diaspore something flawed. To Fulgrim, the unity with aliens was imperfection, a corruption of humanity's potential. To Ferrus, it was weakness, a reliance on something other than human strength. Neither could accept what they saw, and so the war intensified. Despite their unity, the Diaspore could not match the scale of the Imperium. The legions adapted, applied pressure, broke formations, targeted critical vessels. One by one, the fleet began to collapse. Still, they did not turn on one another. They did not abandon their allies. Even as defeat became inevitable, they remained united. And that was their final act of defiance. The end was not negotiated. It was not peaceful. The Diaspore were destroyed, their fleets shattered, their people killed, human and alien alike. No distinction, no mercy, because the Imperium could not allow their example to survive. A civilization where humanity and Xenos coexisted was more dangerous than any enemy fleet. It was an idea, and ideas could spread. The destruction of the Diaspore marked a turning point, not in strategy, not in scale, but in meaning. The Crusade had always been ruthless, but now its purpose became clearer. This was not simply a war of reunification. It was a war of definition. What humanity was allowed to be, and what it was not. There would be no coexistence, no alternatives, no exceptions. Only the Imperium's vision, or extinction. For Fulgrim, the campaign reinforced his belief in perfection, that anything less than absolute purity must be removed. For Ferrus Manus, it confirmed his belief in strength above all else, that reliance on others was weakness. The seeds planted here would grow into pride, into division, into something far darker. Because if humanity could not tolerate unity with aliens, how long before it could no longer tolerate difference within itself? The Diaspore had survived Old Night. They had built something rare, something fragile, something hopeful. A civilization where difference was not feared, but embraced. And for that, they were destroyed. The Great Crusade marched on, stronger, more certain, more absolute. But in the wreckage of the Diaspore, something else was lost. The possibility that the galaxy might have been different.